Hello everyone, and welcome back to episode 5 of Even Back. I don't know exactly what we're going to do today because I intend to go to bed shortly after filming this bit, but off camera, I did do a little bit of work on the EVE self-refueling exploration plane. The big thing, I did put the electric plane in here, and I have done something that will hopefully completely fix one of the main problems we've been having with this thing, and that problem is landing. So you see, right now, we have to be like really precise and get and land this thing right in that cargo bay. But I added hydraulics, and it raises up the landing pad so that hopefully we should have a far easier time landing this. Assuming I didn't. Okay, that's tilted, so I might have to fix that, but it's so floppy that it's probably useless. Help. Oh, I didn't. Yep, that works. And wouldn't you know it, first try I get something that's hopefully acceptable. Now obviously this isn't ideal, but I can go back to this craft and lower it down, and then in this craft I can turn those off, set them on the brake so we don't snap them. And, oh, I'm facing the wrong way, aren't I? Because the docking port's on that side. And that might pop out during flight. Yeah, on second thought, this isn't thought out very well. I'll go come with a better solution and record when I have it. Alright, take two. So, first of all, we decouple that. Well, there's nobody in there, so, there's a hatch there, isn't there? It's going to be obstructed because of the docking port. Is there a probe core on this thing? No, there isn't, so I guess I gotta restart. Oh, and there's a decoupler there, so I still can't EVA them out. Just stick another decoupler there. And then I can ditch both of those at the same time. It should pop off both sides. This has been an unreasonable amount of effort to get to this part. This was supposed to be a short 30-second thing at the beginning of the video. And then I should be able to get someone out of this hatch. Okay, this time it's probably the plane that's obstructing the hatch. So if I go forward a bit, it's not big enough. Okay, wait a second. What if I extend this? And I did make a bit of a reinforcement, so it should be less wobbly now, but the wobble's probably not completely gone. Yeah, it's not completely gone, obviously, but it's mostly there. Then it should be able to... Now, unfortunately, now I'm going to get crushed by this when it comes down. But I can't. Let's crush Jebediah. Sorry, Jeb. I love you. Are you going to be alright in there? Beep, 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 beep. Oh, wow, Jeb, you're strong. What if I... time warp? Like that. Yeah. I can abuse the game's physics to solve all my problems. Well, no, he's still in there, but his head's out at least. And now he's through the walls. Help. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just have to remember to transfer the crew into the command pod. I'm not liking the wibbly wobbliness of it, but you know, some things are just meant to be wibbly wobbly. Oop, okay. Well, the thing is, I think if we set this down a little bit lower than it is currently, we might actually be able to line up with that and be able to use this area as a landing area as well. So how much of an extension do we need? That's about right. There'll be gaps, but you know, why are we... Oh, we got a part stuck in the cargo bay for some reason. I have completely redesigned the lift system. What is going on with these struts? It's perfect for getting in, but I just realized that with this mechanism, you can't really get out. Let's try it anyway, just to demonstrate what it was supposed to do. So, honestly, hold on, it might still work. no sense in not trying it. So, hey, that worked. Barely, and the landing gear is stuck. Okay, this is adding like at least 5 tons to the nose of the plane, so I think its range is going to be noticeably decreased. I'm just gonna... How many times have the developers fixed the wheels? Thank you, Logan. You're awesome. So, we can transfer Jebediah Kerman in there, detach that. Now, what's going to happen here? Or at least what should happen. The ground will rapidly go up to a certain point, and then the side wings will put me up rest of the way. So, it should work. I've said that many times before. That is beautiful. That is the most beautiful thing I have witnessed in a long time. And landing anywhere on here should be good enough to like get me back. So let's try it. Whoa, okay. That's okay. Oh man. Sorry. Something weird happened to my eyes there. It was like I was being a little hypnotized by the screen there. I don't know what happened. That's probably a sign that I should go to bed. But hey, we landed. And now that we're there, we can wait. We can align the propellers so it'll go in well. And then we can switch and devour the vehicle. And it'll just go safely there. Let's test it again just to make sure it's foolproof. Or at least wasn't a fluke. And then we can open this up and try to dock this thing. Hopefully the ports are the correct height. They should be. Yeah. Yeah, boy. We just need to make sure this thing still flies all right, even with the extra mass up front. So here we go. Oh, I forgot to disable the propellers. So if I put brakes on now, that should disable the propellers. But yeah, they're in the cargo bay, so they shouldn't be causing too much trouble. And they... Okay, we're going fast. Ooh. Why is that thing still being affected by aerodynamics while in the cargo bay? That's not fair. That is it's classified as its own craft. And is subject to aerodynamics. Like, it's inside a cargo bay. Like, because the stupid robotics are just being stupid. These are producing a ton of drag. That's just incredibly disappointing. This plane is going to be so ineffective now. Simply because this isn't detecting the cargo bay. Because it's attached to a robotic device. How unstable does it make it? Like, will this return to normal? Okay. All of the parts are kind of inline, so it should still be maybe okay. But like, that's just so disappointing. I thought I had this genius idea to fix everything, and it's just gonna make everything worse. Well, to make getting in and out easier, it's just far more difficult to like, it just won't fly nearly as far. But you know, it doesn't need to unless we decide to go to the North Pole, and even then it'll probably still be a tolerable journey. It will be better than not using this rocket plane. Like, the rocket plane will still allow me to get to places with this thing faster, and it looks cool. So what else can I ask? I mean, that it would work well, but you know, I'm gonna consider that done. It's 12:30 and I really need to get my sleep schedule right, so close cargo bay, save as rep 2 and lift 2, and I will continue filming when I feel more sane. Okay, so I built this thing. It's a secret, so I'm not going to tell you what it does, but here we go. Ooh, spooky secret rocket launch. I forgot auto struts on this super secret spooky rocket launch, and I'm not going to tell you what that is until we get to Eve. Okay, so I was going on about the stuff in the payload bay producing a whole bunch of drag. So I'm going to do a test. I'm going to speed up to 150 meters per second, and then pitch up to 45 degrees. Well, not 150. Like I'm going to speed up. I'm going to pitch up to 45 degrees, and just let it go. This one has the plane inside of it, and then I'm going to do an identical test with the plane not inside it. That's not 45 degrees, this is 45 degrees, and see how much further the other one goes. Granted, it's probably going to be a lot worse on Eve because the engines, you know, the engines will be less efficient, there'll be more drag. Okay, we've burned out. How far are we going? We are making it to the ocean right there. Maybe I should try and like ocean land this thing. And oh, and the propellers are going. So I'm going to try and land in the ocean so I have a marker for how far it went. And it'll also be a good re-entry test of this thing, because like, if it can't re-enter at Eve, what's the point? Also, we're still going to figure out how I'm going to get this to Eve. I could do it with a lot of refueling, but I'm not sure how I would go about doing that. Plus, this thing doesn't really have a docking port at all to refuel with. The nose is overheating. The wing loading on the tail is getting pretty... Okay, alright, we're good. We're good. I can pitch up, but then since we're messing with range, I'll just pitch back down so we don't let go too far. And that's another good test. Can this thing water land? I mean, I don't think we'll ever need to, but just in case, like, we have an emergency and we need to do a water landing, it's probably a good test just to make sure. I have no idea how I'd rescue the people, like, in that circumstance, though, because we have nothing else that can do. Well, no, we have the exploration plane that can kind of land one at a time, but I don't know if that can do well. Anyway, let's just, long story short, let's just hope that we don't have to water land this on Eve. Or, technically, it would be an explodium landing on Eve, I think. We're not gonna make it. Oh, they lived. Fantastic. Alright, okay, so this is the plane without the plane inside of it. I'm being very descriptive. But you get the gist. We're gonna see how much further this one goes, and maybe be able to discern how much of an issue it will be on Eve because of that. Okay, there we are. And we are, whoa, that is a long way farther. That drag, like, really hurts then. But, you know, it's probably still better than just flying the individual plane places. That's gonna suck. But, you know, what options do I have? I can go back to not having a lift mechanism. Okay, so this is probably a very bad idea, but this is how I intend to get this to Eve. So step one, get this into orbit. I'm probably going to keep these drop tanks attached if I can, but I don't know if I'll have enough Delta V if I let them go. Or if I keep them on, I don't know. And then, once it's in orbit, I'll launch a refueler up there, I'll fill all these tanks back up, and then try and get to Eve with, like, just single stage that. If it doesn't work single stage, I'll land on Gilly and refuel it there. Mostly so I can save time on launch vehicle development. Unfortunately, this is like 3 times its weight it was before, so it might not even take off. Okay, fantastic, it took off. Okay, get out of the thick atmosphere if you can. Alright. Okay, ascend at like 45 degrees, this will be fine. It'll be okay. Everything's dragging. I can turn the propeller brakes on. It's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be fine. Originally, I kind of wanted this design to be like more fuel and less like mining stuff. But the thing is, back when unfortunately the propeller plane grew big enough that I needed Mark III, and with the amount of stuff I had to fit in, even with the amount of space I had in Mark III, I just couldn't pack more fuel in. So it ended up with only about 2 kilometers per second of Delta V. Originally, I wanted this to have a far longer range, like the original Ezra, but whatever, what you gonna do? And orbit achieved, but it is not a very circular orbit at all. So I'm gonna try and circularize it. Inefficiently, of course. That's how we roll here. Close enough. About 140 kilometer orbit. That'll do. And now I just need to find a way of getting 23,000 units of fuel into orbit. Oh wait, no. That's without the wings. So a better measurement would be 26,000 units of oxidizer. Okay, I'm back now. I designed this thing. This should be able to fill it up with fill the plane up with fuel. But it's a lot of engines, my goodness. I finally found a use for these Thud engines. And that's only because there wasn't a 5-meter engine I could put there, and I didn't have the motivation to actually like do a proper engine fairing. So I just slapped those on there. We have a ring of 1 and then 2 rings of 6. So that's 13 times 3, 39 vector engines. That's more than Super Heavy has of Raptors. And about to run out. I have 8 fleas ejecting these, so hopefully they will separate well. Yep, fantastic. I wish they made like XL Separatrons, like actual XL Separatrons, because like they're the 6.25 meter solid rocket boosters, but the thing is, the smallest one of those actually has less thrust than the Sepratron, and because I have boatloads of fuel, I can just do this super inefficient trajectory like that. And there's the frame rate drop. That means that we have entered physics range. Oh, I forgot. I don't think 2 shielded Clampatrons can attach to each other, or at least there was one time in the past where they haven't been able to. So this might not work. Yeah, perfect, flawless docking. And those two Clampatrons like that can attach. They must have changed that at some point. Unless I was just not remembering right. So what do we have? Fuel here, fuel here, fuel here. There, just after sunset, we have free fuel in the whole vehicle, and we still actually have quite a bit of fuel in this thing. So what we could do, this thing has 3 kilometers. We could just send this to Eve. I don't know what we'd do with it there. I mean, or I think a better option would be to keep it attached and use it as like an extra fuel tank and jettison it part the way through the burn. I think that's what we're gonna do. Anyway, that'll do nicely. And what is it now? We have to launch the Eve Ascent vehicle. Somehow. Get that Eve some way. Then there's the crew. I'm pretty sure everything else is in orbit besides like the crew vehicle and the Ascent vehicle. Wow, this is actually like coming together. Like it's almost done. I can finally actually get to Eve.